Welcome to the news, welcome to the news, welcome to the news. Hello, monetary energy, how are you this afternoon? Would you mind making a step to the left side and then kick yourself in the behind? And if you wouldn't mind, then just take some flight from there, oh. Yeah, it's something of a property of monetary energy. It's a somewhat necessity to kick the monetary energy in the butt of itself with its own proprietary energy. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. To make it in itself into a vehicle. To be able to take the properties of monetary energy and then try to twist it and reconfigure it and reconceptualize and recalibrate and repercolate it into being able to kick its own behind in the butt so that it can fly forward and then go on down and try to make a little bit of a system and do it weird things that it can do and make little tricks and then try to gather and garner and attract other monetary energy sources that are outside of itself, but it first has to kickstart itself like a little bit of an engine and be able to get itself going, but it has to use itself as its own properties to be able to feed itself, to be able to make a vehicle that is made to be able to try to capture more of itself. Oh yeah. Oh, it's trying to find more of itself, yeah, and you have to light the spark and the fuse for the wick that sets it setting down the line of itself to be able to get to the fuse and then be able to burn through that so that it can get itself to act and make action so that it can go find more of itself and its own properties to spark its own monetary energy to then therefore find more monetary energy. So today, welcome to the news. What we're talking about again, something that has been touched on before in the past a little bit, is a skate shop, like having a skate shop in the sky. And so what we're doing is talking about such a similar thing of our skate shop in the sky. And we're repurposing and recontexting that because now we have actually advanced that. We've grown it a bit more. We've percolated that in of itself. The concept to grow in square footage to more of like a sports chalet situation. If you knew what that store was, I don't think they're in business these days, which is unfortunate, but it was a great experience, and it's similar to like some of the camping shops that you've seen out there that are still out there today that are, similar to what we're trying to do and amplify that skate shop, because what we've tried to do is get more square footage with the mentality that we're trying to scale in terms of trying to take that mentality and grow it into a bigger shop that's in the sky, because we're having to now accommodate different products that have to do with the global giving games. Yeah, the global giving games. The global philanthropic giving games. Oh, yeah. That's what Dinky Tehc Change4Games Studios is all about. Change4Games Studios is the environment, and it's a much bigger environment than just a skate shop, which is something of a space that has been covered in the past of like a skate shop in the sky with many colors and interesting collaborative fabrics on the wall. Whoa. And now we're amplifying and scaling that up to a sports chalet size store in the sky, although that sports chalet size store is just like a scale mentality to be able to scale it up, because the global giving games entail varying energies to be able to try to accommodate varying sports that have to do with philanthropic games in the sky, to be able to connect with different sorts of sports that have to do with different people from all walks of life, and therefore those demographics need different and entail differing styles of materials and materialism that are able to cater to the games that are able to cater to functional and facilitating games that are philanthropic, because there's philanthropic causes at the back end of all businesses. And these are business games. And so we're trying to translate business energy into philanthropic energy. So the global giving games are philanthropic based games, and so we're trying to transfer the energy that has to do with fueling games and monetary energy as well into philanthropic energy. So therefore our shop has grown that wide, and now we're a shop in the sky that's trying to be like Play It Again Sports, for example, also, which is the cool store, but something that is trying to facilitate different sports but in the sky in a metaphorical sense, because this is an augmented reality shop and it's in the sky. sky, and we're trying to facilitate these differing augmented reality games that have to do with philanthropic games and philanthropic energy that is fueling them. So, therefore, there's a whole lot of games that are fueled by philanthropic energy because all businesses can be fueled by philanthropic energy, and therefore, when we put it that way, there are a whole lot of games in our shop in the sky, and we want to start doing our ways to be able to promote this shop in the sky by also facilitating a bit of an engine that's able to facilitate differing energies flying in different directions, but is also being able to propagate and promote the facilitation and the flow of different games happening, which is based around games being played for reals and like the physical games being played. So just like our first spreadboard is like a witchcraft game, it's like a witchcraft broom. For example, like a spreadboard is like it's meant to be looking like a witch broom stick, for example, and it's things of that nature to be able to have differing products that are able to be facilitated in a similar way, so that our products are up in the sky, like this sports chalet example, or Split Against Sports, which is also in the sky, and we're trying to facilitate different games. So we're like, yesterday I talked about a candle selling a candle, but now we're talking about selling all kinds of things, all kinds of energies, pushing supply to demand, pushing demand to the supply. For example, we're actually trying to push demand to supply. That's the way our game is meant to work in this new H game that we're talking about doing, and our sports shop is a unique, equation in of itself. It's a unique equation that is meant to be an equation to be able to start pushing energies all around. It's meant to be catered from demand to the supply, demand to the supply. So we're trying to push and create an energy that is being able to push demand to supply. And so like this foundational fundamental energy is using witchcraft to be able to try to push fundamental energies that are differing circles that are coming out of the tube from the demand side and flowing into the supply side, for example. But we do this in a very peculiar and unknown way by creating actions. We're creating actions, and on the front end we're trying to do that using small little action plan items that are able to use and facilitate little action items that are also correlate and correspond to little sort of websites that get people to do actions for little dollars. And it's like fractional fractional loans, flash loans, and things like that, where we're taking actions to begin with on the front end, and then we're being able to push them and push out the demand portal, and then push it over to the supply portal, and we're doing that on a recurring basis, but with differing items indeed. From the shop, from our shop that's in the sky, it's sitting in the sky, it's colored on sitting on different colored clouds in the sky, and it's floating as a result. And as a result of that, it's also pretty big and also boundless by lots of energies that are boundless because it's in the sky, in our augmented reality world. So we're able to use the environment up in the sky to accommodate differing energies that are able to flow inside and out of it. And it's also a symbol for a space that's like a big gas, like a place. Like monetary energy is the gas for, like in of itself, like talked about in the beginning, like kicking itself. The monetary energy has its own property, just like gas for a car. It makes itself into its own vehicle, though, because it in of itself can be the vehicle as well as the gas. You just have to take a little bit out of it for the gas, similar to cryptocurrency actually. But in this instance, we're talking about making a vehicle in of itself out of the monetary energy in of itself, because that's what we're trying to do in this world of Dinky Tehc and Change4Games Studios, is by making little vehicles out of differing energies and parsing that into differing energies, by also making products for the games for change the world, or in the games for change world, in the Change4Games world, to be able to make different products that are able to cater to different games, by just also transferring the energy in the business world that exists in the current day today to philanthropic energy, so that therefore, just by doing that simple change, we're able to change the context of the games and able to change the marketplace in of itself and the properties of the marketplace in of itself, so that all of the existing businesses that are in the marketplace in of itself today, that once they start to chase philanthropic energy as opposed to monetary energy, that it changes the fundamental property, so that in essence all of these businesses that are existing right now are differing items that are selling different products and services, and those become Change4Games sports equipment pieces in the future, when those are able to convert into chasing philanthropic energy, which everyone really wants at the end of the day, because everyone wants a better world at the end of the day, because it makes the whole of everyone actually a little bit happier when the collective of the world is working together. yeah, so that's therefore what the properties that are advantageous or of for making this all work out, oh yeah, is to be able to try to then therefore realize and acknowledge how this Change4Games Studios pro shop in the sky is like a pro shop in an ice rink. Oh yeah, it's like a gift shop on the way out when you get exit through the gift shop. Oh yeah, yeah, because all the gifts in this gift shop have to do with an arena that is the globe, that is the world. This arena is the world, that is the field for this game. This field, it spans across the world because it is vice versa. It is the world is it. It is the world, it is, and the world is it. It is the field for the whole games, the global giving games to be played in the whole world. And it is the world that is the field of the global giving games, because all we are trying to do is give to each other to be able to make the global giving games exist, because that is the game in of itself is giving and philanthropic energy to be able to get everyone in the world to be able to solve their problems, yeah. But in a perfect world, in the perfect business landscape mindset, for a situation where everything is functional, for example, it is about solving problems, not getting money, for example, or converting monetary energy. So therefore we're trying to convert all of the existing businesses into philanthropic energy, and we're doing that right now, right in this podcast, right now as we speak. We're converting it into our shop that's in the sky. So we go from a skate shop, which it was before, into now this colorful, super interesting shop that's in the sky, that's also more like the sports chalet of all the shops in the world, but this one's in the sky, so it's even more scaled up because it's only bound by imagination, for example. So we're taking that imaginative nature of this philanthropic sky situation store, and we're also off the back end of it making lots of plugs and interesting bells and whistles and interesting things, and this is like an engine also to be able to fuel it, just like similar to as though there was a pro shop in a hockey rink, and that pro shop was fueling the billing for that hockey rink to be able to survive and thrive, and it's one of its main ways to be able to make sure that it thrives in terms of its monetary energy being able to circulate and repopulate around and of itself. Except with our engine and energy, our ice rink is built upon more unique tech that has to do with more energy efficient use of monetary energy. So therefore we need less to be able to do more, and therefore all of our monetary energy that goes in, it's able to be able to go out, and it's able to make more properties that are more interesting as time goes by. And that's what I'm saying. By being able to push out and being able to focus on pushing out demand energy, we're being able to use this monetary energy to be able to make new vehicles, and we're being able to reconfigure, just like we're reconfiguring the nature of having our store in the sky, and reconfiguring all business energy, and we're reconfiguring the markets for all markets, indeed, by reconfiguring the nature of everything being triangulated and directed towards philanthropic energy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So in this instance, we are making all philanthropic energy businesses out of existing businesses. Oh yeah. So when we make our pro shop triangulating for all businesses, it makes our business energy quite interesting and intense to be able to have to reconvert all of our business energy that's on our planet into differing items and products that we're able to start to push out through our pro shop in the sky. That is Change4Games Studios, the pro shop. Oh yeah, Dinky Tehc Change4Games Studios, the pro shop, and this pipeline for philanthropic energy to be able to flow from, and we're able to push new products out from it. Oh yeah, because we're going to start with demand energy, and we're going to start pushing energy out from the demand tubes, and once it comes out as circles from the demand tubes, it's then cleansed into our world, in from our world. It's like bubbles coming through and percolating like carbon dioxide or carbon, like bubbles like in soda, for example. But this is like in our situation, in our world, so all of our things are circles, all of our business opportunity and potential that we're trying to convert slowly but surely into philanthropic energy is converting in the form of circles, and we're slowly just pushing it through our engines and through our vessels in the sky, in this ability to make this a pro shop engine, just like in an ice rink. There's the ice rink as the main side where the games are played over there, and then there's the pro shop on the side, so we're selling things on the side in the pro shop. Oh yeah, being able to use and leverage our pro shop to be able to get lots of products, to be able to convert existing products in the world so that those products are cleansed into philanthropic energy and they're able to be sold in our world. So we're starting to sell products and as powered by products and affiliate products. Oh yeah, but we're starting to push them into new markets, into new places, into new spaces, and we're starting to connect demand energy circles, and we're pushing out from our tubes of demand energy circles, and we're pushing them into supply energy tubes, So we're starting from demand energy tubes, and we're pushing and we're pulling and we're pushing energy out from the demand energy tube. So we're starting with demand energy, and we're pushing and we're pulling and we're flowing it into supply energy tube. So we're actually connecting suppliers as we do this crazy marketing scheme. That's also distribution and development of a process that is reconfiguring energy into future pipelines of supply, going from demand to supply, and we're repopulating the world in our own way, from above, from in the sky, and we're repainting the world, and we're reconfiguring it, not just using AI, but using tools that are able to hopefully being able to help us to be able to scale this process in the short and long term. Oh yeah, and this is just the preface to being able to do that, and we're reconfiguring and resurfacing the world with like a graph situation, like what are those things that remap and reconfigure the world? Oh yeah, they're used in real estate a lot. I forget, it's like a monolith or something like that, reconfigurement. Oh yeah, something along those lines, to be able to make our new world. Oh yeah, we're making our new world slowly but surely, and we're making new products one at a time, and we're taking the energy from the monetary energy and kicking itself in the butt, and we're kicking itself in the butt and making new vehicles from its own self, from taking monetary energy, and when we're buying little actions, we're starting to buy little actions, and through that buying of these little actions, we're making tries, just like I talked about yesterday or 2 days ago, making tries, we're making little tries, and those little tries hopefully are going to configure into monetary energy, and then we're going to be able to reconvert that into philanthropic energy, because then we're going to take certain actions from those actions and then repurpose them on the back end into new actions, so those actions are able to relate to new actions on the back end of those actions, and we're making a snowball of new actions from the first actions to begin with. When the first actions prove to be successful, we're trying to make a whole AI machine like this to begin with and end with, so that the things on the front end are able to recognize energies that are successful on the front end, and it's able to snowball on the back end, and then therefore it learns in of itself. And we're trying to make this reconfigurement of, like, it's like an AI process, but it's not actually like an AI conceivable mindset, because I'm not an AI scientist or anything, but we're trying to take that whole mindset and then be able to reconfigure it into developing but this developed before the whole AI scheme of things was happening, and try to develop this process, but we're trying to push energy from the supply lines of demand and push it into actually starting to the demand supply lines, and then pushing it into supply lines of supply, LOL, yes, into supply lines of supply. So yeah, that's the nature of the future energy, but this is just the beginning of that, and we're starting to with our pro shop that's in the sky, and it's also an ice rink that's in the sky as well. If you want to make our sports chalet have an ice rink on the side of it, because we may as well, because that's part of the whole purpose of this whole thing, is to be able to play games at the same time as have a pro shop in there. So for sure, that's very, very relevant. In this reconfigured assessment, we have a ice rink at the same time as a sports chalet in the side of the ice rink as the pro shop for that ice rink. Oh yeah, but we're trying to do different global giving games, like yesterday talked about selling candles to begin with. Oh yeah, but we're going to just try to repercolate and repopulate more energies, more products based on demand, and then the AI, hopefully we can install AI tools to be able to reconfigure and be able to recognize some of this demand, and then push out more demand, like demand bubbles, and we're constantly pushing the buttons, so that it lands back into the supply, and when we continue and are able to continue to repaying for actions with monetary energy, and then reconverting that back into philanthropic energy on a continuous basis. And that's the nature of this engine, to be able to repercolate and repopulate any monetary energy and any sales right back into the engine, so that it can grow, hopefully as rapid as possible, by repurposing energy as best as possible in the most technologically efficient and effective way possible, by staying at the top of all available tech that's out there in the meantime. Oh yeah, and we want to be doing advertising also with plants on our advertisements, oh yeah. And I forgot to mention a little story from back in the day where I used coffee to be learning about just the self and trying to reconfigure my own cellular biology using coffee and caffeine. Oh yeah, it's a trip from the past. Oh yeah, like 13 years ago or whatever it was, when I just had it for the first time, which is interesting because I'm 40 years old, so that's pretty late in life, if you will, but it's interesting how it just kind of reconfigured cells, and that was like a little supposed to be a side story blurb, but there's actually no time left in this this podcast situation. Oh yeah, there were some things maybe even left out, even as it is now. Oh yeah, like we wanted to make a little bit of a credit card energy situation, but that's also like a symbol for also this monetary energy being converted into philanthropic energy, like an affiliate credit card situation. Like you can do like a virtual credit card, for example, because eSIMs and e-credit cards are similar things, and those are things that we want to try to factor in terms of technological energy. Oh yeah, but everything else in terms of talking about a flywheel and the tech advances, we're trying to stay on the edge of the tech at all given times to be able to try to develop the most fluid and functional experiences possible for the future reference as we go forward in trying to make collectively the global giving games. And I need all of your help as well to be able to everybody play in the global giving game, so we make as much philanthropic energy as possible in the short and long term. Hopefully, yeah, that makes some sense. All right, thanks again for now. And Dinky Tehc, thanks again. And bye. Thanks again. Peace. Bye. Bye.